power, Robin. This will only make you stronger.
Or a total bummer.
I swear they're trying to make our kids stupider.
I want your steam cook.
On his stove!
This is really what passes for children's entertainment these days.
You can't see me! No one can see me!
Alright, that's it. Hey, yo, Thanos! I'm done down here. You wanna come get me? So, firstly, again, I have to apologize for, being gone for like 5 months. I actually was planning to do more regular uploads back earlier in those 5 months ago. I did actually do a reaction to the Silver versus Trunks death battle, but that sadly got hit with copyright claims and wasn't made visible. I tried all the proper editing with 3D filters and effects, so, I should be able to pass the copyright, but I still didn't. I frame around the corners, still didn't work, so I tried just trimming out the parts getting claimed, but they just moved the part that was claimed, or claimed another part, so yeah, that didn't work, so I had to get rid of that video, and even right now, my Omni-Man versus Homelander video still has a claim on it. Yeah, same exact thing. I tried trimming out the offending part, but they just moved it to a different part, so yeah, I got a bit discouraged. But with that explanation out of the way, back to the meat of this video, which is talking about animation and cartoons and their severe decline lately. And a lot of people think that cartoons are just, shows for kids and only kids, but that's not what they should be about. Animation is not strictly for kids, as we have constant shows, pushing the boundary, showing what animation can do, and showing it isn't just for children. It should be able to be enjoyed by both children and adults, not just have kids laughing at all the stupid stuff going on, as the adults are just looking at their phone and rolling their eyes. And also, children's entertainment does not have to be just mindless and stupid. When did that, become the norm? Even in the shows I watched as a kid, like SpongeBob and things like that, yes, they were stupid and goofy, but they still had smart moments every so often, nuances and such. That is not the case anymore with Teen Titans Go and other such shows, with a few occasional rare gems. And some of those rare gems are from the place you really wouldn't expect, that being Disney. Yeah, Disney shows are starting to get badass again. Like, the 3 in particular I'll be talking about are Amphibia, The Owl House, and The Ghost of Molly McGee. So, spoiler alerts for those 3. Those 3 shows are not just mindless, wacky nonsense. There is some of that, yes, but it's actual storytelling, like something anybody can enjoy. Amphibia, the story, this girl and her friends wind up in a world full of amphibians, frogs, toads, and newts, and try to find their way home and, learn and grow in that process. They aren't just the same dumb kids making the same mistake over and over and over again, like some other shows. And for the main character, Anne Boonshoy, it's actually a journey of self-discovery. Yes, she has her interests and things she enjoys, but for the most part, she really was more of just a follower, going along with what her friends wanted and never thinking of what she wanted, because she didn't know what she wanted and even didn't really love herself as, a person should. And through the journey, she learned from her mistakes, grew as a person, and actually came into her own and made self-discoveries. That is a powerful story. The same thing can be said for The Owl House, the story of Luz Noceda, An outgoing, quirky girl who is not understood by her peers in the human world and by chance stumbles into a strange demon realm with witches and magic, something she has been greatly interested in her whole life. And she learns to become a witch and help people and gain acceptance of these otherworldly creatures she never had in her own world, and again, got some sense of self-worth and value by being accepted by others, something she didn't have before. And finally, The Ghost and Molly McGee, the show about this crazy, happy-go-lucky girl going to this kind of bland town and doing her best to quote-unquote happify it, just doing whatever she can to brighten everyone's day. And ironically, the town she moved to is named Brighton. Normally, a character like this would be annoying and insufferable and get old really quick, like something like SpongeBob or Laszlo from Camp Laszlo. Something along those lines of just relentlessly optimistic characters that just never get the clue when they're being annoying or getting on someone's nerves. But A, Molly can understand that, and B, the show doesn't coddle her and make it seem like she's always right and never gets things wrong. In fact, quite the opposite. She often learns she's not going about things the right way and has to change her worldviews, and doesn't always wind up getting her way in the end, or at least not perfectly. So, refreshing change of pace from that type of character. So she does all she can to try and just make the town better and more exciting and a place where people can be happy, despite the fact that she has made best friends with a ghost whose job it is to scare people and create general suffering. You would think the two opposing forces would tear each other apart and never work, but it really does. And the main characters of the show, all three of these are female characters, and all three of them are great characters. Something Western media as a whole has failed at very badly in recent years, because they weren't trying to make these characters incredible female characters. They made them great characters and then they made them female. It's not about being woke or serious race issues or anything like that, or women's struggles. None of that is a factor here. It's just these characters learning, growing, being good characters, having flaws, but overcoming these flaws and growing to become better characters rather than just being outright, oh, I'm the best because I'm a woman, or I'm this race, or just I am so incredible, I have no flaws, and so I'm the best, and just being terrible characters all throughout, When did that become the trend? Like, seriously, one of the main reasons these characters are likable is because they are likable people. Like, you feel like you could actually sit down and talk with them if they were real people. Like, if Captain Marvel was real, the MCU version, or whatever, if she was real, would you want to talk to her? Or, dear God, Velma from, the show? You would not want to be anywhere near those people because they are just toxic and up their own ass. But yeah, these three Disney characters, when a lot of people have given Disney flack in the past for, not doing characterization too great, these three are pretty great characters. Once again, they are likable, seem like actual people you could enjoy and get along with in real life, and not just whatever Western media thinks is what people want to see out of women these days, or just what they think makes a good character when in fact they're making perhaps the worst character you're going to find. But it's not just simple storytelling that is the main crux of the issue here. These are, solid shows that, have lessons and can teach things. to their audiences, which, yes, even though I said they are shows acceptable for adults to watch as well, it is still mainly geared towards children. And yeah, like I just said, it can teach them things. Something a lot of other children's media these days, and even schools nowadays, seem to be forgetting. It is okay to teach children things. You're allowed to do that. Like, seriously, my nephew took a spelling test recently, and he misspelled some words, and they didn't mark anything wrong or write down how you actually spell the word or anything. Then how the heck is he supposed to learn? But yeah, these shows have powerful life lessons that can help children also learn from what they're seeing on screen and grow as a person. You know, some of the best life lessons I learned as a child also came from the shows I watched as a kid. Things like the original Teen Titans also had powerful life lessons and good stories and values, and Ben 10, things like that. Strong shows, good morals, and good lessons hidden within them while still being entertaining for both children and adults. And again, these shows are action-based. They're not afraid to show people getting hurt, like nowadays. Like most big shows I can think of, like whenever someone is fighting, or if there are fights in these shows at all, it's like flashing cuts to people throwing punches or kicks or just general attacks, and it's like after the fact, after the punch has been thrown. So it's like you could ignore, like you could say that, oh, they got punched or whatever, but it wasn't on screen, so the kids don't see the violence, which it is always ridiculous. Yes, again, some of the shows I listed before did this too, but it was used sparingly and only to move the episode ahead if there were other bigger issues to get dealt with. But yeah, here the action is on screen and at the forefront whenever action is involved, and it is pretty well choreographed and very entertaining. Heck, in the Owl House and Amphibia, there are some injuries that result in some of these fights. In both of those shows I just mentioned, a guardian figure to one of the main characters loses an arm in both of those shows. And while The Ghost of Molly McGee is largely a slice of life show and not an action-based show, there is some pretty impressive action in this season 1 finale, where the main character actually straight up vaporizes the big bad of the show, the chairman, or of the season anyway. So yeah, it is just impressive what they get away with, and they are not afraid to actually go the route of, not everyone is a good person and can just be saved like nothing. Like, I swear to God, they'd take a straight up jab at Steven Universe with the ending of the Owl House, or the big final fight with the Owl House. And, if you know Steven Universe, spoiler alert, jump ahead to whatever time I list down below if you want to avoid, but Steven Universe, the Diamonds, who are genocidal tyrants who enslave their own people, they just get redeemed like nothing happened. Like, we can gloss over all their previous crimes just because, oh, they're good now. But most of that stems from Steven is a sort of reincarnation of Pink Diamond, the person they love the most. If he wasn't, they would not even bother listening. And 2, again, we're brushing aside genocide here. That's not cool. But the Owl House, they actually show again, spoilers, they actually try that route with the Collector, the basic god of that show, but also a, child, similar to Zeno in Dragon Ball Super in a way. They teach him love and understanding, and then Belos comes back and absorbs the, Titan, which is, a being that rivals the Collector and is the actual boiling aisles that the Owl House takes place on, but the collector flies up and, tries using this lesson of kindness and understanding and forgiveness he's been taught and gives Bellos a little hug, and then, this happens.
I get it now. You just need kindness and forgiveness, huh?
That was weird.
So yeah, it's showing, there are some people that are beyond help. I know that's generally a lesson that's frowned upon these days, but it is nevertheless a true lesson. There's just some people that are beyond help. And yes, again, they're willing to talk about adult issues again, like issues of, not loving yourself, of, not knowing who you are. And again, in the case of Molly McGee, they're actually willing to talk about, a woman's physical issues, yeah, that. If, 5 years ago, I would have told you that came from Disney, a studio largely known for media for children. Again, the kind of mindless nonsense like I was talking about with Teen Titans Go. You would have probably called me crazy, but yet here we are, with Disney somehow pumping out the most adult children's shows you're probably gonna find nowadays. Trust me, I know Disney is involved in a lot of controversy, even with the Owl House and some of the shows I talked about nowadays. Like, the Owl House Season 3 was supposed to be 20 episodes. And yes, by the way, this was very difficult to edit. But they reduced those 20 episodes to just 3 big special episodes that are on YouTube, not even on just Disney Plus exclusive. So yeah, it's no wonder the show's creator up and quit after all was said and done. But still, in this life you gotta pick and choose what is the best we're going to get out of this, and in terms of quality content for your children these days that aren't going to leave them brain dead, I'd say Disney and the shows they're running now are where it's at. Yeah, again, I know they aren't free of controversy, but you can't deny when they get something right, they really do get it right. But what are your guys' thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Do you think maybe I'm giving them too much credit, or perhaps not enough in this brief video where I probably forgot half the topics I meant to talk about anyways? I really should have made a script for this. Or are you now intrigued to maybe check out these shows yourself if you previously thought of glossing them over? Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Let's see if we can get this train rolling, and let me know if you guys want to hear more about these shows in the future. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, and hopefully, again, I can avoid going another 5 months without doing something on this channel. But that's going to be all for now. Thank you all so much for watching and hearing what I had to say. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more, go ahead and slash that subscribe button. You like this video, give a quick cut to the like button. Leave a comment down below. Share it around with all your friends. Be sure to click the notification bell so you never miss it when I upload a video. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Then I'll see you in the next video. But until then, my people, stay sharp.